Just why did you make the deal?
What's that?
Why did you make the deal?
Really the quality of the person that we're bringing in. He's a local guy, defensive player of the year just a couple of years ago. He'll be a great veteran presence for the young guys we have, JC and CJ and Keith. You couple him with Dante, and those are good mentors for that group. Dante has grown up a lot and taken on a leadership role. And just the stronger we are as a group on the back end, the better we'll be.
Seems like you guys have a perfect blend almost of some veteran guys, some younger guys. Is that kind of the goal that you wanted to have for that secondary?
It is, but these opportunities came at different points. It's not like there's some master plan that we had. The opportunity with CJ came about, and then all of a sudden Steph. So we're very fortunate in getting together with our personnel staff, getting together with the coaching staff and Matt. It made sense for us to make this move.
It's kind of in a contract impasse up there. How are y'all going to handle that with him going forward?
I spoke with the agent. We're going to let him play on his contract right now. He's going to come out and show us what type of shape he's in, how he plays this year. We're open to doing something with him, but we don't know yet. We'll just see how it goes. We have players on our roster right now that we want to take care of, and we'll just see how it all fits towards the end of the season.
Your understanding is he will report and play when
Oh yeah. No, I've talked to Steph, I've talked to the agent, and we're in a good spot.
I know you won't get a firm answer on this until you get it in front of your people, but is it your belief that he'll be ready to go for the game against the Giants?
That's our belief. He'll be in tomorrow for a physical, and then he still has a couple weeks, on PUP, and so we'll start the return to play. He'll be with Ken Johnston and our training staff, and we're hoping to get him up to speed, and we'll see where he's at for the Giants week.
What is he allowed to do until what all is he allowed to do?
He can't do like the team stuff or on the field stuff. He has to do. He'll be with our trainers and with our return to play specialists.
Kind of like AJ had to do.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Can he be in meetings?
That's a good question. I believe so, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe so. I think he can't be on the field.
Scott, you mentioned Dante. What would you say at this point about kind of the future of the position next year with Stephon and Dante both being in contract years?
Right. I talked to Dante actually when we acquired CJ, and then I spoke to him briefly coming off the field today. And really, this does not affect Dante at all. We know that we would like to have him back. I think he wants to be back. We're planning or budgeting, I should say, to have him there. But again, we just need to see where we meet, that we can find a landing spot together. But this does not affect Dante at all.
You've spoken a lot about cap flexibility. What does this move do in terms of the planning for the future type aspect things that you're looking for with this club?
Yeah, we have a really good plan moving forward. Samir's been on top of that. We have money in the future. We see the cap going up, and we're healthy financially right now with our cap space. So it really doesn't affect us. We'll be able to roll hopefully some money over into next year and do all of the signings that we want to do that we've prioritized next season.
CJ was about the future. This guy appears to be about now. Dante even said this says to the team they believe we can win now. What did you intend for it to say?
I think talking to Coach, we just do it week to week. We want to win each week. I do see the question. CJ is for the future, and Dante is to win now, and maybe we do extend. Stephon. That'd be great to keep him here. I said Dante, but Stephon. So yeah, it's a nice setup and takes care of a lot of needs, and we're not forced to do anything that we don't want to do.
So there's room for Dante, Stephon, CJ, and JC into the future?
Yes, there is. They talking to our coaching staff how they're going to play them, how they're going to move around in the division that we're in. We can use all those guys. We can play dime. We play nickel. We can move guys to safety. There's a lot of different ways we can use this.
Do you think this was this part of maybe a safety valve in case JC can't come back this year because it may be?
I think it's just an opportunity to acquire a good player. I mean, a really good player that adds a veteran presence, and we're going to need him. Through a 17-game season, there's going to be injuries that maybe you don't account for now, and I really like the front that we have, and upgrading our defensive backs was a big emphasis this offseason, and we're continuing that.
Are you working under the assumption that JC's out for the year?
We're hoping he gets back, and we hope, we plan on going to the playoffs. However, his body. It's just how he heals and how he comes back. I know he's going to rehab and fight to get back, but that's you never know with those injuries. But we'd love to see him back if possible.
You haven't ruled it out.
No, I have not, and I don't think he has either. He's rehabbing, with everybody with the hope of getting back. We just don't know.
Scott, when Matt was in here a little while ago, he said for every one deal y'all do, you bring him 10 other options. And,
Sure.
Yeah. So offensive line's a place where you've had a lot of injuries. Thinks is something still possible with as much money as you've now allocated to go?
Yeah, I think that's something you're always looking at. I mean, it's not like there's offensive linemen available. I mean, I think every team's in the same situation. We are looking for them. We like the guys we have here. I'm sure they'll move some guys around and try different combinations. If you ask our guys, they're all competing. They all, our own players would say, hey, we need to get better. There's a little too much leakage in there. However, we love the way they're going about it. But there's just not a lot of offensive linemen on the market right now. And the ones that are, no one's letting them out, even their backups.
How quickly did this come about, the deal with Stephon?
Fairly quickly. We started getting whispers of it last night, and then this morning, Pat Stewart reached out to Dave Ziegler, who's up with the Patriots, and they just had some normal conversations back and forth. Hey, we're here. He may be released, and all these things. And then as the day went on, the morning went on, really, we knew more and more teams were getting involved in talking about trading for him. And it was smart that it came out early, because so it gave teams time to compete for him, get a hold of the agent, different things. However, it just got to a point, hey, we knew this is a guy we wanted. We give up a future late pick to get him and avoid, being in a bidding war or waiting until the release and losing out on him. So we just made the move and made the decision to go after him.
How'd your personal background with Gilmore in any way kind of facilitate the deal or give you assurance about what kind of person you were getting?
I mean, it's not like he and I are best friends. We just like you would be with your neighbors. But I see him out there, and he's out with his kids all the time and his wife, and he's always going for walks. And then you talk to people. He's just such a quality person, and he's a competitor. He's a guy that he fits in with Matt, what he wants in the team. So you just love bringing guys like that. You feel good about where you are, bringing those people into your situation.
I was going to ask you, in terms of, were you surprised that you got the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year for only a 6th-round pick a year down the road? Like, everyone's, the national media seems to be really amazed that that's all you had to spend.
I don't know the whole dynamics of why. I just know when it comes out that they're being released, there's certain reasons why teams want to move on. And so if they can get something for them instead of releasing them, you just have to kind of read where that's at and make an offer.
Scott, is there an adrenaline rush associated with doing something like this for you when calls are being made and going back and forth?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the fun part of the job, but there's still a lot of homework you have to do to make sure it's the right decision. You have to watch the tape. You have to get with your coaching staff. You have to make sure the head coach and the owner and your player personnel group are all on board with it, because you don't want to just make moves to make moves. You have to make the right moves. You have to make smart moves, and then when you decide it's the right decision, then you can be aggressive about going after it.
Do you think it helps you guys that this is kind of now your reputation, that you want to push buttons and make deals?
Yeah, it helps. It does help because teams know that, and they will call you just to check in. So there might be a few more opportunities. We've called around about offensive linemen, and other positions pop up and other opportunities. So I think just communication and leaning on our scouts, Pat and Dan and Matt Allen and Rob, have them reach out to their contacts. You never know what's going to be out there. So, and once we hear about it, we'll investigate it and then decide if it's for us or not. And so that kind of goes back to your point. For every deal you make, there are 7, 8, 9, 10 deals that you don't do.
When you have the volume of deals, do you run the risk that not all of them are going to work out?
Sure.
I guess I'm thinking of seeing Perryman make a bunch of plays the other Monday night. is that kind of a possibility?
Yeah, absolutely. When you make that many transactions, you're not going to hit on every single one. And I'm happy for Denzel because I think he was, like, we obviously signed him because we thought he was a good player. And then you get him here, and, you know, he was hurt. There's other situations. And I'm just happy that he was able to find a home, that we got some compensation. He's having a great year. We're happy for him.
Was there, you talking about, you know, he was Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, and then in 2020, it had, you know, by his standards, his worst year in terms of various things. So was there a game or something you watched last year, or, you know, this year or whatever, that made you confident that, you know, he is Stephon Gilmore still? He's not, you know, a shell of Stephon Gilmore.
The one thing you see with these veterans, they know how to play. They know how to leverage. They know how to, you know, keep themselves in positions not to get beat. And whereas you may lose a step, you may gain that step back with your mind and your ability to read and react. So I think Steph is one of those guys. We're hoping, you know, once we get here, to get him up to speed, get him up to shape, and that he has a productive year before us.
How difficult is it trading for a guy who really doesn't have any tape to speak of based off the fact that he's been on the pup and really don't know what he's going to be until you actually get him in front of you?
I think you just have to go back knowing who Steph is, how he played, and then what role he's going to play in your defense, what you're going to ask of him. And so I feel confident in bringing him in.
Good. Any neighbors we need left tackles?
Seriously. I'm going to go knock, during Halloween, I'll go knock on the doors and ask. So, no, unfortunately we haven't found one yet, but we'll see where it goes.